friends, foes, undecided. Good morning. It's a Wednesday, and you know what? I was actually watching a video from another creator that I just stumbled upon this morning, a fellow small business owner, candle maker. Her company and page is called Honey June Co., by the way. If you're not already following her and you like cute small business candle making content, you should definitely go give her a follow. So shout out to you, Honey June Co. I believe her name is also Lauren, so we have a lot in common. Anyways, excuse me. What are you doing, baby? Oh, you're ready for breakfast, maybe? Okay, let's go. Okay, he's all set up with some breakfast now. So anyways, Honey June's content, I think she posted a video last week maybe, and it was about just like having one of those days, you know, where you're just kind of you're riding the struggle bus. And you know what? I had been waiting, and like it's on my mind to like film another like vlog type video, because it's been like a couple months, honestly, since I've done that. I've been doing a lot of like candle making content, like obviously makes sense. But I was like, you know what? I guess no time like the present, because I've been having a couple days like that too. Yesterday was like that. It was just not so much tough to get going, but it just felt like nothing was actually getting accomplished. At least nothing significant. And I think some days are just like that. You're just chipping away. And when you are a person who thrives on productivity and like completion of like your tasks, it's like, it can be very like frustrating. But it's a lesson in patience and persistence. So anyways, that's what today's going to be about. I'm just going to be vlogging through my day. And I also wanted to discuss baby items that I have or registered for, but would not register for again. I made a video probably again, like maybe a couple months ago, about items that I bought after the fact that I should have included on my registry. And I think it was like at least 50 people found that, you know, sort of interesting because they watched it. Thank you. If you're one of those people. I don't know if they stuck around or not. They were probably more here for, you know, the mom/baby needs content, not the candle content. Totally understandable. But I figured maybe it would be smart to do, you know, a few things that I should not have included on my registry, because not anything, you know, particular against any brand or anything like that. They just weren't that useful. They weren't as useful as I thought they would be, or as they were marketed to be in my situation. Everyone's different, whatever. So anyhow, we're going to just chit chat about that throughout the day, because I just like don't have time this week to just like sit down and do a video like that. So, we'll just chit chat about that. We'll just hang out today. And if we have time to do one of the many candle related, business related tasks that I really need to get done, then we will also do that. But in the meantime, we're going to get some breakfast, and he's going to finish breakfast, and then we're going to get cleaned up so we can go for a walk with one of our neighbors down the street. I swear you will never, ever unload a dishwasher faster until you have a toddler headed towards the dishwasher while you're trying to unload it. It is a little while later, and we have cleaned ourselves up a little bit. You know, not a lot, but good enough. Sorry for the jump scare earlier. And gone for a walk with our lovely neighbor down the street. And we got back just in time because it is turning rather gloomy outside. Let me see if I can show you. yeah, this is what things are looking like. So glad we got our walk out of the way. Normally by now I would have already eaten breakfast. I try to eat around the same time that Barrett does. However, because we went walking earlier today rather than later in the afternoon, I accidentally skipped breakfast. I was just hurrying, trying to get some stuff done, and honestly, it doesn't look like I got anything done. So I'm gonna cook some breakfast and also do a little resetting around here. I just inhaled that breakfast. It was pretty good for like only spending 2 minutes on it. I know I had mentioned that I was going to talk about a handful of baby items that I had purchased or had put on my registry that I just ended up barely using. And if I was going to do it again, I wouldn't repurchase them. Again, it's not like brand specific. It's more like item specific based on its usefulness. So without further ado, let's talk about the first item. The first item is a mobile. The cute little thing that hangs over the crib. I'll insert a picture somewhere of the one that I had, which was beautiful. And it was really cute because it went with the theme of Barrett's nursery, which is vintage airplanes, basically, is what his room is. And we didn't spend a whole lot decorating his nursery, and I am glad that we didn't. The mobile was mostly just for me, for like taking a picture of it, and you know, it doesn't really do, in my opinion, it didn't do anything to help him to relax or fall asleep or you know, keep him busy or anything like that. And as they get older and they're sitting up in the crib and pulling themselves up in the crib, then it just becomes a hazard. So you end up having to get rid of it anyway. I bet there's some kind of craft or something that you could do with it to like preserve it. Maybe like putting it, the parts in like a shadow box or something could be fun. I do think that I already like donated ours not too long ago because I was just drowning in like no longer use baby stuff and I needed to declutter some things. So all that to say, I wouldn't buy one again if I had another baby. I definitely, even if it was like the same theme or whatever, I probably wouldn't have saved it. For the record, if I ever did have another baby, we'd do a completely different theme. Just because it's so fun, you know? But yeah, I wouldn't waste my money. And that's coming from someone that spent like $40 on a mobile. Like, that's crazy. Crazy in my opinion. That's like a whole box of diapers. So to each their own, but I would have rather spent that money on a box of diapers. I still have more tidying up to do, but I have been wanting to clean the humidifier for Barrett's room and also change the filter. And the filters came last night from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. So we're going to quickly clean that while we're here at the sink. I know we're technically talking about things that I would not include on my baby registry again, but since we're here anyways, I would include a humidifier, or if you're not going to register for one, purchase one later if you don't have one. Better yet, get one that goes in the dishwasher. I know you just watched me hand wash this, but this Canopy bedside nursery humidifier does go in the dishwasher, everything except for this part. And there's only 3 parts to wash. and our dishwasher gets really, really full every single day. So I, most of the time, will just hand wash it with hot water and, you know, basic Dawn dish soap. And it's great. It's a mistless humidifier. And I know you probably also saw how disgusting the filter is. Yeah, it's supposed to look like that because it's working. And the unit will tell you when it needs to have a filter change. I want to say it's like every 6 weeks or something, but it has its own filter. And the nice thing about this system is that it actually will keep running until, not until there's no water, but until the filter is dry. So it helps to just keep the unit nice and clean and not moldy. So I actually let it run until it does turn off completely, because technically there's still a bunch of water in the filter. Even if you don't see it in the tank, there could be water in the reservoir or in the filter that it's working through. There's really easy instructions with the humidifier if you ever do end up purchasing it. But I really like this one. I've had a couple different kinds, and I think this is the easiest to clean. It's only a few parts, and it also takes regular tap water. So you don't have to buy special distilled water for this one, which is great. The only thing that I would maybe comment on is that it's fine for our son because he has a sound machine and everything. It'd probably be a little too loud personally for me. But if you don't care about that, I think it's a great humidifier. Quickly before I move on to cleaning up the bathrooms though, the next item that I would probably not include on my next registry would be a wipe warmer. Controversial, I know. And I understand that babies probably don't want to be wiped with a cold wipe. However, it's not like you're gonna have a warm wipe with you when you're out and about running around with your baby, right? And also the one I had just tended to kind of dry the wipes out faster. So I used it for a little while. I think it's totally cool if you choose to use one. Obviously, it's just my opinion, but I felt like it just dried the wipes out quick and I had to end up throwing some of the wipes away. I also wonder if it promotes like bacterial growth and things like that because there's moisture and there's heat in there. And of course we try to keep our hands as clean as we can when we're taking care of our babies, but there's always a chance that some kind of bacteria is getting in there and then just thriving in that environment. I don't know if there's like studies on that. There probably is. I'm just hypothesizing, not an expert. But anyway, that's another thing that I probably wouldn't register for the second time around. Of all the cleaning things that I need to do, cleaning the shower is probably my least favorite. Has anybody out there tried these yet? This is the Derma Scalp Density Boost. I picked these up yesterday. Even before I had Barrett, I had like thinner, finer hair. And now I'm dealing with postpartum hair loss still a little bit, not as much, but a little. And I'm looking for something that will give me a little boost, a little va-va-voom, you know what I'm saying? So if you've tried these, let me know. I know there's probably nobody, but if you have tried them, let me know. I know they have lots of different ones, like this is for density and fullness, but they have, you know, other ones for scalp health and this and that, so we'll see if it works. It had good reviews. Also, he is waking up So I'm gonna go grab him in just a moment. He didn't take a very long nap today, but quickly wanted to go over the third item that I would not add to my registry this time around, and it's a backseat organizer. I know. I thought it would be a really, really good idea to have something that would hang on the back of the seat that I could put like wipes, diapers, toys, extra clothes, whatever, miscellaneous items there. But it didn't work out so good. I think it's just because like every car is different. So this particular one did not fit the back seat of my car very well. And it also covered up the pocket that is existing there already. So I opted for just getting a basket from the dollar store. Works good for me. I have a basket that's got like in the bottom an extra pack of wipes, a few extra diapers, an outfit change, a pair of socks, and some of his favorite toys in case he gets a little cranky in the car. And then I have another basket that holds my baby carrier and my shopping cart cover. So maybe a more cost-effective solution than buying the car seat organizer doodad. Are you also the toilet paper fairy in your house? He's awake and it's time to make food for my little food critic. Why is watching your toddler throw all the food you just made for him on the ground like so sad? Like, what? Oh, well, you're not getting that back. Okay, we made it through lunch, and I was going to go do like a donation drop off because the weather is not so great and you can just drive through and drop off there. However, it is now not raining, it's just kind of gloomy, and I think it would be best if I sorted through Barrett's clothes again. So we're gonna go make a return really quick instead. The return is all done, and the weather is getting a little gloomy again, so we're gonna head home. On that note though, I did want to say, I know again I'm talking about things that I would not put on my registry again, but one thing I would is a rotating car seat for sure. I also figure now is as good a time as any to mention that I'm currently working on establishing the links for any Amazon products that I am using in different parts of my life to share with my audience in case anyone would ever like to use my links. No one is obviously ever obligated to do that, but I figured if I'm going to share the links anyway, I might as well share them in a way that I could potentially receive commissions. Gotta make some money to keep this business launch plan going, okay? We gotta fund it somehow, right? So now's a good time just to mention, if I have the links ready to go by the time I get this video edited and uploaded, I will include those links in the description box and in my YouTube description box as well. And if you happen to click on the links, if they are there, I may make a commission on those purchases. Peekaboo, I see you. We're home and Barrett just had his afternoon bottle, which we're slowly decreasing, and it seems like he's naturally doing that on his own, which is really encouraging despite throwing half of his lunch on the floor earlier. So he's having a little bit of playtime at the moment, and we're just hanging out for a little bit. So I thought I'd quickly talk about the next couple of things that I would not add to my baby registry if I did this all over again. The next thing is the travel stroller, and I think I mentioned this in the other video where I was talking about things that I would have bought or should have put on my registry, And at that time, I had said a different stroller I should have put on the registry, which is still accurate. I don't think that I would do the travel system again. Of course, we're just going to keep it at this point. He's grown out of the car seat. So that's in storage for the time being. And the stroller part we keep in my car just in case we need a stroller. But it's not like my everyday use stroller. So yeah, if I did it again, just like I said in the other video, I'm double dipping a little bit, but I would do like the mom cozy stroller that has the bassinet and then the convertible toddler seat. I think that's more of a value. And then the car seat that is suitable from newborn all the way up to about like 65 pounds. I think that's what I would do if I was going to do it over again. He's having a great time. The next thing I probably would skip a second time around is probably baby towels. Like, don't come at me. Like, I know they're really cute, you know, especially the ones that like the little hood has like ears on it, or they look like a duck or whatever. They're adorable. They're so, so cute. And the ones we had were so soft. They were like this muslin, you know, material. Really nice. I obviously kept them just in case, but they do grow out of them pretty quickly, and we just use regular towels now, so. The next thing I would probably skip is those silicone plates. Now we're kind of moving a little bit forward in time, like less like baby, but more like, I guess, 6 months. I'll probably have to go back. I probably have skipped some baby things, but I need to look at my list. But anyways, the next thing is silicone plates. So, you know, the ones that stick to the high chair or the table or whatever. Not because they don't work. They do work. However, they can make the food taste odd. And I know that because I have eaten food off of them before when my child is like not eating the great food that I make for him. Then I eat it sometimes. And one day I did that and I was like, this doesn't taste quite right. So instead of the all silicone plates, we now use the ones that are stainless, and they have a silicone sleeve that goes on them that has the suction cups, and then you stick that on the table. So I don't think they're as user friendly as the 100% silicone ones, but the food retains its original taste, which is always good. Okay, this one will probably be a little controversial, but the wrap, like baby wraps, not any brand in general, I don't even remember which one I had, but the ones that are just like straight up, you know, like a soft, comfy wrap. It's not that like I think they're bad. I don't think that they're bad. I think they're great, but I just ended up with so many different carriers because he was obviously grown out of that within, you know, a short period of time. And when he was like itty bitty, honestly, we weren't like going out that much. That just wasn't the experience that I had. Maybe if I did it again, we would be going out more often. But that wasn't the case this time around, and I can only speak for my first experience. So it's my opinion that I would skip the wrap. Controversial. It's just my humble opinion. And I would do a carrier that is suitable, you know, for itty bitties all the way up to, you know, bigger kids. I've used a couple different ones from Ergo Baby, and I've liked both of them. One of them is already in storage. He grew out of it. I want to say it was the, like, I think it was called the Embrace, and it was like a soft knit material. And that one's for smaller babies. So that was great, really comfortable for him and for me, at least for as far as I could tell, for him to be chest facing. So when he was a lot smaller. The carrier that we currently use now is an Ergo Baby as well, and I'm pretty sure that one is like the Omni 360 Breeze or something like that. I picked that one up last year. shortly before we went to Florida for the first time with him, because it's hot in Florida. It's also hot here in the summer, and I needed something that had better circulation and airflow because we were both just getting way too hot. And we were doing a lot of carrier walks at that time with him. So the Omni 360 Breeze, I think is what it's called. If I was going to do it over again, I would just skip the wraps and I would do just like a regular traditional carrier. Okay, we're out in the garage. Lighting out here is obviously like it's a garage. And I have it shut because it's blowing and rainy, and actually the sun just came out, which is ironic, but it is cold again. So I have shut the door. Anyways, he just went out for a nap, so I'm gonna quickly try to squeeze in a workout. And I've got our cute little robot vacuuming the kitchen. And yeah, we're just gonna try to kill two birds with one stone, and anytime that I have left over, I will try to sneak into the office and do probably just some work on the computer. I've been working on labels and things like that, so that will probably be next on my list, and I also will need to place another supply order soon. Mention two more items that I probably wouldn't include on my registry if I was going to do the baby thing all over again. One of those is a lounger, like the cute little soft thing that has the little borders around it. We had one of those and we honestly just didn't use it very often. I don't necessarily have like a stand-in product or a replacement for it. I think if you could see yourself using it super often, then you should definitely do it. But we actually had a pack and play downstairs because we have a 2-level house. So we had a pack and play downstairs and then the bassinet and or crib upstairs. So because we had the pack and play downstairs, we had an alternate safe place to put him. And the good thing about that is the pack and play can be used for years to come. So I guess that's my stand-in, even though that's a significantly more expensive product than a lounger. The loungers just don't last for very long and they get puked on a lot. So you have to wash them a lot. So if you do get one, make sure you get one that's easy to take in and out of the cover. Last but not least, I would say I would not get the rubber or silicone bibs anymore, the ones with the little pocket. I prefer the ones that are like, I don't know what you would call the material, but you can rinse it out in the sink or they can go in the washer and it's basically like a smock, almost like a painter's smock. It covers their sleeves, goes up around their neck, velcros in the back, has a pocket in the front, and it does a really good job of covering most of his clothes. So we don't do a lot of, you know, changing clothes throughout the day, but we do just rinse those in the sink, and then we can typically put them outside or in the garage to dry, and they're usually dry by the next mealtime. So that is a great replacement, and they should last a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video here today. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me at Chronicle Home Co. And thank you so much for stopping by today. If you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for spending your time here.